I've been speaking Spanish for over 40 years, and I just started using this new method or technique that has like supercharged my Spanish. It's making it so fun, and I want to share it with you. And it has to do with Harry Potter and the vocabulary. And the last one of these, basically about 12 vocabulary words or expressions, the last one is going to surprise you. It's so common in the Harry Potter books, and it's actually a simple word in English, but the translation into Spanish is kind of strange. They don't really have a simple way to say it, it seems. And so it even surprised me every time I heard them saying this. They say it in a very odd way. So I think it's going to surprise you when we get to it because it's a super common word in English. And I wonder how you say it when you try to speak Spanish. So anyway, the reason I want to talk about this is what it really deals with is listening to Spanish on audiobooks and using the app Audible. But you can use any audio book app that you want to use and not just Harry Potter, obviously, because you might not like those books. If you like them, that's great. But if you like, actually what I want to suggest is that you find a book or a story that you're already familiar with, because you might say, oh, my level of Spanish isn't that good, so this you might think it's not for you, but really this is for everybody, beginners, intermediate, and advanced. You're all going to get something out of it. I mean, I've been speaking Spanish all these years and I'm still getting so much out of it because there's so many little vocabulary words that you don't realize that you don't actually use some strange word. I don't know about you, but if I've worked this hard on Spanish, I want to do more than just survive. I want to enjoy the language. So, part of language is understanding other people, not just the words coming out of your mouth. And so the one thing I can control is learning vocabulary. You can't always control 100% grammar. That can be a little bit challenging and difficult and comes with time. But vocabulary we can learn. And so if I get familiar with that word and what it sounds like, or that expression and what it sounds like, when I hear it, it won't be so surprising to me. I'll understand it. Think about how many hours you listen to your own native language every day. Whatever it is, it depends on your lifestyle, but say it's an average of 5 hours a day that you hear your native language. Well, how many hours a day are you hearing your target language, in this case, Spanish? It works for any language that you're studying. So how many hours a day are you listening to that target language? It should be at least 30 minutes, I would say. Even when you're really tired, how about 15 minutes? But really, I would shoot for at least an hour a day. You really want to be listening to the language every day. Didn't you ever say, even in English, there might be some strange expression, you have to say it out loud. Even in English, you're like, which preposition goes after that verb? Withdrawn from, withdrawn to, and you have to say it out loud. Why are you saying it out loud? Because you're comparing it to your lifetime of hearing English or your native language, and you're like comparing it to see which one fits, which one sounds right. Well, don't you want to have that ability in Spanish? The only way you're going to have it is by hearing Spanish, listening to Spanish for thousands and thousands and thousands of hours. So you need to start somewhere. And this is a fun way to do it. Find a story or a novel that you really like. I'm going to put the link to Audible so that it will have my affiliate link that on Amazon where you can get the Audible app. And I'm going to show you how to get it for free for a month. Originally, I thought it was 3 months free. So I signed up for it. I got the month of use. And then all of a sudden I see a charge for $15. And I called them up and I said, what's this? They were really friendly, really nice. So I'm going to tell you something. I don't think they probably don't want me to tell you about this, but I was able to get another month for free. But they probably don't mind because they offered it. They want the business. So anyway, I was able to get the Harry Potter book in exchange for these credits. There's just so much vocabulary there for you to listen to. And I'm already familiar with the stories. I've never read the books, but I've seen the movies. So that's kind of fun. If you're at a higher level of Spanish, what's kind of fun is comparing, if you know the story, from a movie or a TV show, comparing it to the book to see what the differences are. If you're not, it's still good because then you have what the movie or the story is about, and then when you listen to it, you don't feel completely lost. You can kind of follow it. You hear all the different words because they're saying, y entonces Dumbledore le dijo a Harry, tú debes venir acá, Harry, a la mazmorra, porque te voy a mostrar algo que tú y Hermione y Ron deben. And so you hear all the names of all the people. So I'm going to leave the link for the Audible app. You can sign up for that. And I really recommend that because then you can listen to it while you're doing your exercises, while you're going out for a walk, or just sitting around. And, I'll even take out a little notepad and pen and write down the words that I hear that I don't recognize. A lot of them, I can figure out what they mean in the context because my Spanish is good enough that I can hear the whole thing and then I hear this one adjective. And from context, I kind of get what it means. The same way we learn English. This is the great thing about it, because if you listen time and time again, the same way we've built up our English vocabulary without using a dictionary for 99% of the vocabulary that we know in our native language, we didn't use a dictionary to look those words up. Well, that's what starts to happen with the Spanish. When you're listening to it over and over again, you start to understand and learn the words just through context. Now, if you're at a low level, it'll work a little bit differently, but still do it. When you're at a low level, you want to expose your ear to the language. One of the nice things about the app is you can slow down the speech if you want to, just to like 70% of the natural speech. So it starts to sound more like this instead of at the quick pace. So it sounds just like they're going a little bit more slowly, but at least it doesn't distort the voice very much. But I just find that listening to the Spanish every day and all the multitude of vocabulary, it's so nice. It's so refreshing. It's fun too, because if you like the story, I happen to like these stories. Find something that you like. If you don't like Harry Potter, find a story, something that you enjoy, something that you already know would be better, because then that will back up. That will fill in the gaps when they're talking about something using vocabulary you've never heard before. It's really going to complete your Spanish. This, I think, is missing for a lot of people. We need to be listening to our target language a lot, and then therefore you're going to be able to speak it better, and it really will complement itself. Also, I just wanted to mention, please consider taking classes with me on italki. The link is there for you to sign up to take classes. My classes are really fun. We can talk about things like this or more specific things that you want to work on. My classes with a lot of my students are 100% only in Spanish. If your level is there, if you want that. Other people want a combination, and some people want things explained in English. The class is your class. You're the boss. I'll do it the way you like. All right, let's look at some of the exact vocabulary of the Harry Potter story, and that you might come across if you're a Harry Potter fan. All right, the first word is abarrotado. Abarrotado, which means to be crowded. And you may have had this problem in the past trying to express the idea of it's a big crowd or crowded. So in Spanish, it's an adjective. So here's a sentence, an example sentence. El gran salón estaba abarrotado. The great hall was crowded. The second word is jadear or jadeando, which they use a lot in the Harry Potter. They all must be panting. That's what it means, to be panting.